Thank you. We'll call this meeting to order at 6:32. We get a roll call?
Hello. Okay. Chair Rosha,
Here.
Vice Chair Brian Samuels has an excused absence. Commissioner Bissner, Commissioner Kwong,
Here.
Commissioner Okon,
Here.
Commissioner Tamas,
Here.
and Commissioner Vogel.
Here.
And Councilmember Donovan is not here at the moment.
Thank you. Do we have any public comments?
I received no emails.
And then moving on to item 2, minutes of the Community Services Commission meeting of November 14th, 2022. Do we have any discussion or would anyone like to make a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Can I get a roll call?
Yes, but Commissioner Rosha,
Yes.
Commissioner Bissner, Commissioner Kwong,
Yes.
Commissioner Okon,
Yes.
Commissioner Tamas,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogel.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item number 3, discussion direction regarding the creation of a path from Claridge Field to Nelson Field along the hillside. Do we have a presentation?
Yes, this was brought to our attention by Commissioner Tamas, and she received a second from Commissioner Okon to agendize this item. In your packet, you do have a photo just so you have an understanding of what we are talking about. But these two commissioners spend a lot of time in Royal Park with soccer and baseball. And it was brought up asking if there could be creation of a path from the parking area near Claridge. So if you're looking at this diagram here, to understand, I go by NBC. So N is Nelson up top by the stables. B would be Burke, and it's in the corner there, and C is Claridge. So that's my head.
It's a good
It's the
one.
only way I can get it. So you'll see the thicker, we don't have a color copy, but the thicker line along the side of the park there is actually along the hillside and along the chain link fence. And the question is there a possibility to create a walk path so that when you're either going to a soccer game or if you're going to the other field for a game to watch your other kid, or that you're not walking on Stony Drive and then on to San Pasquale where there's a lot of cars and there's really not a walk path there to walk. And so I'm going to let Karen say a few words on this because this is her item she brought, and then we can discuss further too.
Thank
Go ahead, Karen.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for doing the work on this and including it on the agenda. So a few parents came to me with this who, like many of us, as Sheila said, spend a lot of time, down at the Arroyo going from field to field and also from, parking lots to fields. And it does feel, you're sort of, you often find yourself walking along the street because there really is no good alternative. And there's some trees and sort of bushes and stuff that kind of pushes you out into the road a bit. And especially for kids as they get a little bit older who may be crossing that area themselves, it just seems like there should be a better kind of safer passage. And so this seems like it would be, relatively, easy, hopefully somewhat inexpensive to create. So just glad that we're able to discuss it.
Commissioner Okon, did you want to add to that?
Yeah. As it stands right now, that pathway, I had no idea there was a pathway.
Well, there isn't really a pathway, but I think people create that pathway. There.
Okay, it was created. Okay, because
I mean, they walk on it to
yeah,
create.
there's a lot of vegetation there, a lot of trees, and things. It would be fantastic to have. I'm glad that Karen brought it up because, and our neighbors brought it up because it would alleviate a lot of the traffic that we do get up Stony and San Pasqual. When you when you park at the Claridge or you park at Burke, and then you have to get over to Nelson, the only way of pretty much without going through the fields is to use the streets. And we have, parking galore and traffic from just normal folks trying to get home and back and forth between the areas. It would be a fantastic thing to have safety wise for sure. I don't know, how would we approach this city wise? Where would we find the funds and how do we begin?
So one of the questions, when this all came about is I was trying to figure out, would you want it? Because we have we have a coyote population along the hillside. And so I was trying to think of if it's not on the other side of that tall fence and it's on the inside and we make like a 4-foot walk path, should it be another like chain link fence or could it be, how we have the corral fencing along the Stony Drive when you come down the hill by the golf
Mhm.
course? Something like that. So it's more kind of decorative and not like someone's walking through a chain link jail. But also just balls going and flying around. That's kind of that one thing I'm trying to.
It's a good point because if you look at the bottom at Claridge, probably where you start seeing the about a couple of centimeters in rear, a couple of feet, where the batting cage is, if we had, I would say, most of that area would probably be chain link because of the safety of the game. If there's games going on midway through, all the way probably to the outfield of Nelson, that would be fine. The wooden fence that is on the trails, and then just the other last part of it. Once again, safety wise, would probably have to be some type of chain link to protect from any, errant foul balls, any errant throws or things like that. Most of from the outfield fences, you kind of can see a little outline in between the outfields of both fields.
Right.
That area that where they put Burke, Claridge, and Nelson on the diagram, that area is used to warm up.
Right.
So there will be baseballs, balls flying back and forth, players throwing the ball, and then we do put up our bow nets that go so that we don't use the chain link fences, so we don't ruin them. We have batting practices into nets. So, that is not an errant ball thrown from the kids. They're not, they're kids. Balls get thrown everywhere is more dangerous, I think, than the hit balls from that are in the net, because the distance from the ball to the net is very close. So they're not, those baseballs aren't flying, but yeah, that would be probably a combination of both type of fences that we would see.
Karen, did you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I guess the question, so you think, and I'm curious what others think too, it's better or safer, maybe easier to put it along the hillside rather than on what direction is that there?
On towards the grass side?
Right.
Right. It would be nice to have that big chain link that blocks anything from hitting anybody.
Mhm.
I just would, I probably need to go with a public works staff and really walk down there and see what it looks like, and take a good look at that. Could they create, a DG path, a decomposed granite path in there, just so that people can get to and from. And I'm trying to think, when they're back behind the dugout at Claridge on the first base side, they can walk past the batting cage, right? Currently to get in.
So the way that you enter the field when you're on the first base side, you actually have to go, there's a gate that to enter the field.
Okay.
And then, so you have to actually walk along.
Is it in front of the batting
It's in
cage?
front of the batting cage.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
There's
if somebody
nothing-
needed to walk on the other side of the batting cage, there's a little bit of space.
Well, there is space on
But
the
that's
other
where
side
you
of the
go back.
batting cage. Yes.
Okay.
That's where I figured the path would go.
Yeah.
It looks like that's where the path is coming from,
Mhm.
going on behind the batting cage, not in front of it where it's the field.
And
yeah,
then
the-
it opens on the Nelson field. It just kind of, the gate stops and it opens up, right?
Correct.
And it goes into this grand stand, the stands over there by the drinking fountain.
Yes. Yeah, the drinking fountains opens up into the field, and then the end of the dugout at Claridge opens up into the field where folks could go in. Yeah, inside, if we tried to do a path inside of the chain link fence, that's going to be dangerous too. Unless we have a high enough fence to clear, and you're probably looking at like an 8-foot type of fence if you do in the inside of the path using the field.
Can I get any other thoughts from anybody? Any other commissioners?
Without having seen it, I would ultimately, the staff report says request direction. Commissioners Tamas and Okan obviously have a much better sense of what might go there. But for direction, I think it would make sense to, if the commission is for it, recommend moving forward and coming back with a staff report update that included the walkthrough with Public Works with their recommendation on where they think it should go and what type of fencing it should be.
And if it's possible, there's a lot of oak trees there. I don't know if, how,
Yeah, I know. I
what
just
we
need
would
to
be
look,
able to
yeah.
do with, we're not moving an oak tree. I mean, at
Right.
least, things like that. So, but no, for sure.
Can the department come up with a proposed plan as to a proposed pathway with the proposed look, whether it's a fencing or it's that double?
Right. No, I think we
wood?
could do that. I think, like Victoria said, just trying to get some direction from you, no, we don't want this at all, or no, we really want you to look into it. So that's what we would do. The next steps would be getting together with Public Works and walking the area and really seeing the viability of it to see how it can be done, if it can be done. Just to bring it back to say, we could do this. We kind of got a cost estimate, it's something I think that it could be kind of done in-house. I don't think it has to be contracted out. It just depends on, like you said, where some of those trees might land and if we can make a walkway around it.
Because it seems like it makes sense. If people are already carving their own path, you might as well, if the city can, then make it safe if people are going to do it anyways.
Like the snake trail.
Yeah.
Right.
Any
Just-
other comments?
I just have one comment about it. If there was to be a path that was going to be made, it would need to be out of an artificial substance, like you said, the gravel, because I've climbed up. My friends live on the street above, and the ground is not. It's loose. It's all loose. And there was also a fire, I think, prior, maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
So that would not be. It would not be safe if it was just to be the regular dirt that was there. It would have to be a completely new, secured surf.
Any other comments or discussion? Do want to make a motion to recommend city staff bring back information and a proposal about creating a path?
Second,
Okay, so I made the motion and then
Yeah,
a second.
pretty much.
Okay. We get a roll call vote?
Chair Rosha,
Yes.
Commissioner Bissner, Commissioner Kwong,
yes.
Commissioner Ocon,
Yes,
Commissioner Tamas?
Yes, and thank you for
thank you, Tam. Thank
addressing
you
this. I
Yes,
appreciate
thank
for
it.
you.
bringing it up. That's awesome.
And Commissioner Vogel?
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
thank you. Moving on. Sorry, I'm trying to find the next item. Moving on to communications, city council liaison communications. We don't have our council member here this evening. Staff liaison communications.
Yes, I'm gonna keep it brief. I just want to say thank you, Karen, for your years of service with us. I'm looking up at the screen like you can see me. But I just want to say thank you for your time you gave us, the effort, especially you put towards Eddie Park, especially the scouts and keeping us informed. I really appreciate it. I wish you all the luck in your next adventure on the school board. I think you're a great addition. And hopefully maybe you can help bridge that gap between us and the school district a little bit so that we all get on better terms with each other. It'd be great. We're hopefully get a better joint use agreement with them for facilities on both ends. So, but I wish you all the best and don't be a stranger. I know you'll be out there for Little League and AYSO, but on our events, come on by. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. And it's been such a pleasure to work with you and your staff and my fellow commissioners. So I'm so sorry I can't be there tonight in person, but I have a kid sick at home. But I really appreciate that. I've really, really enjoyed it, and will encourage others to join the group because it's small, but can be mighty.
Wonderful, thank you. Moving on to item 6, division liaison communications.
Ms. Schneider.
Good evening, Community Services Supervisor Melissa Snyder. So I'll give a brief update on our senior services. In the month of November, the Senior Center delivered 299 meals to homebound seniors, and we served an additional 185 meals through our Grab and Go program, which was a significant increase compared to the month before where we only had 75. And on average, we're serving between 15 to 20 meals on site daily at the senior center. So we have 3 options for meals. Homebounds receive their meals delivered to their front door. And then we have the option for those who are maybe uncomfortable eating in person to still pick up meals through Grab and Go. And then we have our on-site hot meals daily. Some save the dates for you guys. Tomorrow is our Christmas and holiday luncheon, and that'll be at War Memorial Building at 12 o'clock. This Wednesday, we're hosting a gift wrapping assistance in partnership with WellBe Health. We also have our holiday cheer program where we're currently accepting donations of like gift cards to local businesses and sweet treats that we will deliver to our homebound seniors as well. And then just another save the date option is our Snuggle a Senior program. Beginning December 19th, we'll accept new blankets and like letters or cards handwritten to seniors, who we also deliver those to homebound seniors as well. So I will send you guys all the flyers with that information as well tomorrow. And then on behalf of just the department, for our community services communications, so our social media, in November, our social media channels reached 1,382 unique accounts and received a total of 35 new followers. In total, we posted 2 posts, 14 stories, and shared 2 reels. So we're doing well. I really encourage you guys to follow that. We're trying to promote all of our programs through those channels. For this year, we have a new event that we've named Hometown Holidays, which we kicked off last Thursday, where we hosted a gingerbread contest and cookie decorating event. This Thursday, we're partnering with the public library to host crafting and story time also at the Senior Center. That will be Thursday the 15th from 6 to 8 p.m. So if you guys can stop by, I highly encourage you to. We'll have 4 different kind of crafts going on, one for Hanukkah, one for Kwanzaa, one for Christmas, and a general winter one. And then the library will share stories along those same lines. A quick update in regards to our concerts in the park. Donation letters will be going out to 750 businesses at the end of this week. And then I will be meeting with our two subcommittee members to select the bands next. So I will probably send you guys an email early next week regarding that. And then my last update is regarding Civic Rec, which is our new programming software. We will host our first configuration training this Wednesday, so we're looking forward to it and get that ball rolling. That's all I have for you guys. So if you have any questions, I will gladly answer them.
Great, thank you.
Great job. Yeah.
Good evening. Community Services Supervisor Wilcox, here to provide an update for recreation. So this past Saturday, as part of our hometown holiday events, we hosted our Breakfast with Santa event at the War Memorial Building. And it's our annual event, and this year was Grinch themed. It was a festive event catered by IHOP, which included a hot pancake, eggs, potatoes, either sausage or bacon. And then we also had Rockview Farms generously donate milk and orange juice to the event. Families enjoyed a great time with Santa. He sang and danced and posed for pictures. And we also had a 360 photo booth available for families, and the Grinch crafts were also available for kids to do at their seat or to take home for the day. It was a sold out event at 130 tickets sold. So it was quite a fun morning at the War Memorial Building. So we were super excited. For our outdoor rentals, we offered a total of 49 park gazebos rentals at the park. Garfield Park hosted 25 rentals, Arroyo Park hosted 20, and Orange Grove Park hosted 4 for the month of November. Our recreation classes were now 12 days in for the winter session with 279 participants registered. Participants are registered for various classes, and the winter session will run through February 28th, 2023. And additionally, our spring session instructors have been sent out their availabilities to start planning for the spring season. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Great.
Good evening. Jordan Bell, Program Specialist. For Camp Med, we currently have 60 kids enrolled between the 3 schools. We were able to add 2 part-time rec leaders, although it turns out after getting them kind of through the process, their schedules were not quite as open as they initially led on. So we're still looking, but it did allow us to get a couple off the wait list, a wait list of 10 or so, and I anticipate being able to take at least half of those moving into the new year, and then likely clearing that wait list moving through January as kids get involved in kind of different things. I've had several parents who realize their kids are doing a lot more extracurriculars when they're having to pick their kids up from campus 3 to 4 days a week. So they say, you know what, we love you guys, but it's just not worth it for us. So I anticipate some movement on that wait list, and I've had quite a few success stories of parents just so thankful to be able to get into Camp Med because all the other ones are full. And it allows them to have a safe, fun place for their kid to go. So I'm very excited to have those 60 enrolled, but also be adding to those moving forward in the next month or so. Camp and school both end next week. So moving into winter break, we will have our camp professionally deep cleaned as we do every kind of break, and then have staff come in to reorganize, restock, and kind of plan out what they want to do for the remainder of the school year. So looking forward to that too, and it gives them kind of a chance to recharge and reset, and allows me to kind of spend some more time doing a lot of the planning stuff that I end up having to forego just due to the day-to-day needs of camp itself. So that would be great. Teen Center, we have 13 kids registered, which doesn't seem like a huge number, but it's a lot more than the 0 we had registered last time I talked to you guys. So that was really cool. We have a solid group of probably 3 to 4 kids who are there every day, bringing friends in, We had 6 there last Friday, and they used the leftover cookie decorating stuff from our hometown holidays event, and they loved it. I've heard a complaint from my colleague here that they got some. They were playing badminton, not a real complaint. They were playing badminton in the big room and got some of the birdies stuck up in the Halloween, the Christmas decorations. So those are good problems, right? Those are things that we can deal with and manage. It just means they're having fun and hitting some overeager badminton shots. So that's been great. And for me, that's kind of it. And do any of you have any questions or comments or concerns? Great. Thank you.
And I will provide a quick update on our transit division. Happy to report that we will be receiving a new electric bus. It is arriving next month. So it's going to be a great Christmas gift for the staff. So we will be getting rid of one of the older vans, which has been out of commission for a few months. So this is really exciting. And also we are recruiting for the management analyst position, and that just opened up last week on Thursday. So we are looking forward to going through the interview process sometime in the second week of January. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
What kind of van is it? What's the model and make? You know?
Lightning, Phoenix Lightning.
It's
That's all I
just
know.
like, it's
Is
just
it
the current, you know how we have the electric van?
Uh-huh.
It's the same exact thing.
Oh, okay.
We got 2 now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Sweet. I'll go look it up.
So moving on to Commissioner Communications. Commissioner Fogel, do you have anything? No? Commissioner Kwong? No?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did attend a senior citizen luncheon a few weeks ago. And they're a lovely group of people. Actually, I did too, and they're a very lovely group of people. And our South Pasadena seniors they seem like a very cohesive group, and I enjoyed serving them. And they asked for seconds, which I found that I wasn't supposed to do. It violated some. They negotiate.
Did you
with
get in trouble?
They say, well, I'll return the turkey, but if you give me 2 slices of bread instead. Yes, so it's a very nice group of people.
Oh, good.
Yes,
Very business savvy group.
it's a business savvy group.
Yeah.
They're good at bartering.
Right, barter.
Barter savvy group. Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Mr. O'Con? You have any-
No, I'm good right now. Oh, no, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. Commissioner Bismarck?
Well, I don't know if this is right, but you can guide me on. I golf a lot, love the Royal Sports. There have been some complaints about the new staff that started. Big concern with less than 4 children. I don't know what money. How we discuss that. Great call.
You can continue to call, you know, if you have problems, continue to call me. Yeah, and just kind of, if you happen to know their name, I know they don't wear name badges, but, or descriptions, just so I know. Because it's hard sometimes when I'm like, well, somebody was rude, but I'm not sure who it was, but
He wouldn't give me his name. The one time he, young, I don't know if he was running the place. He said, situation. He didn't want to talk to me, and I said, you know, I love your name.
oh, thank you.
Well,
Hmm.
Is there like a customer service box or something?
A lot of people, but not a lot, several.
The same person or different? Okay. I can, no, I can handle that. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Bisner. She made, gave me, what I wanted to say, and I totally forgot about it. I wanted to give an update to the group about, the ad hoc lease committee and what we were discussing this past meeting. And it is the golf course. It's like the biggest issue right now, the golf course, the driving range and the miniature golf and the restaurant area that we have. We, at the beginning, it started where we were trying to just figure out how to get a restaurateur in there and build it up again. When all heads have ideas have come together, it has now become a project of revitalizing the entire facility over there, from the golf course, to the miniature golf, to the restaurant, to the driving range. I think it's in a great stage at the moment, and headed into the right direction. Of course, a lot of the concerns are more economic and a little bit of rearranging, because there's going to be a point where whatever we do over there, there's going to be a huge need for more parking. I think that's going to be one of the bumps in the road that need to go on there. But it's a great group of folks that are involved, and it looks very promising. I hope that we get to a point where it will be a place, a destination for entertainment, golfing, entertainment, and family fun. So if it goes in the right direction, it's going to be a spectacular place. So hopefully we can keep, that time and everything else will be, how it is, depending on construction, depending how everybody, how it decides to process through. But I think it's good to know that there is progress there, and it's going to be good progress. So I'm excited.
Speaking of the golf course, Commissioner Bisner raised an issue that concerns me, because if the staff are not friendly, like I don't want to make a reservation anymore. It kind of scares me. And I wanted to make one for 8. But if they're not friendly, then it kind of puts people off. But perhaps maybe doing a professional development course for them on customer service,
Right.
And how it relates to increasing visibility and engagement with the city, that they are actually they're the first
They're-
line.
Right,
of
they're
contact.
representative of the city. Yeah.
Yeah, before going into discipline,
Right.
that we focus on professional development and how important it is.
And, Commissioner Bisner, I have a question for you. I'd like to know your thoughts as part of this ad hoc committee. We have a 3-part 18 hole, and we have been discussing creating some parking and creating, this they call golftainment, where, we have like the top tracer, and we have, an 18 hole mini golf. And so we were talking about doing an executive 9 hole instead of the 18 3-par. What are your thoughts?
We play every Wednesday. And I think that because I experience a lot of people really like to see it. And they appreciate it for what it is.
That's good to know. She's part of there's a group of women who play, and
Yeah.
Leila's a part of that group. So. We were just trying to figure out how we might be able to create some parking. And if we cut it down to the 9 holes and take away, some of the area along, like, the tennis, as you're driving up the driveway, you can have parking there, people can walk up.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm glad Commissioner O'Connell also brought this up, because if you hadn't given the update, I was going to give the update.
Okay.
Because ultimately, one of the things we had discussed last time was that the ad hoc committee would be more regularly giving an update to the group. And in this case, obviously getting feedback from someone who actually uses the course is very valuable, especially because I am someone who doesn't use the course. So hearing from other people is really important. So just kind of putting a bow on Commissioner Okan's update, where we're at is the consultant had done a draft with the proposals that Commissioner Okan was talking about, and Sheila was talking about with the top tracer and a built out miniature golf, and then going to an executive 9-hole, which would open up about 100 parking spots. And so there was a lot of discussion among the committee, and ultimately the feedback for the next draft of the proposal included maybe doing a more phased approach, just given the cost of making those changes. And so I believe within the next couple of meetings, we'll look at another draft and ultimately hopefully get to a point where then the committee is making a recommendation to council. And of course, council will make that final determination. But ultimately, even talking about it within this group, we can say avid golfers have also thought that an executive 9-hole is the right direction to be going. That's great. I don't know if Commissioner Tamas is still on and just has her screen off, or did she have to jump off all the way?
No, she's still on.
She is. Okay.
I'm here.
Okay. I wanted to piggyback on Sheila's remarks. I have to say, for the time that I've been on the commission with you, I feel like all of the most items with like substance that have come from the community filter through you, which I feel like speaks to your accessibility, obviously, to the community, and the reason why you're moving on to your next post as an elected official. So I've learned a lot, not being a long-term resident, from you and the work that you've done, and clearly the voices that feel comfortable coming to you and bringing like real talk to this commission, which is great. So thank you for everything, and you will definitely be missed. And then just to my fellow commissioners, happy holidays.
Yes.
Thank you.
Be
Happy
safe.
Be
holidays.
safe.
Yes, happy holidays,
Yes.
everyone, from all of us here in Community Services. We appreciate you so much. It's nice to have a bigger group and an engaged group, and I honestly like having them here because I don't want to tell you what they do. I want them to brag about themselves because they don't brag about themselves at all. So it's nice to hear from
Great job.
But thank you, and I will meet again in January, and just be safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
We are adjourning at
Yay, bye.
7:09.
Good luck
Thank
to
you.
you,
Thank you.
Commissioner Tamas.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Is she signing off?
Yeah.
Not